Well, let me tell you, but before I do, let me just have another cup of tea. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and I'm really excited because today I will bring you my Kickstarter preview of Khlor, the newest game by my friends over at Tembo Studio. Alvaro G. Echave has designed this game, and this is actually I think the fourth game in their lineup, and I've covered all other 3 games on my channel, and this is the 4th one that is coming to Kickstarter in 2 days, on January 21st. So first of all, thank you so much to Tembo Studio for providing me with a preview copy. A small disclaimer, this is a preview copy, right? I will talk about that during the preview, so you know which things will still be changed, but everything is still subject to change, right? There are lots of cool changes planned. The video today will be in a little bit different format as usual. At first, I will give you a rough overview over the multiplayer rules. Then I will show you how the solo game works, because yes, it is the first game in their lineup with a solo mode. And at the end, I will give you my review, my thoughts of what I think about the game. I will add timestamps to this video as usual, so you can jump to whatever part you're interested in the most. Bonus points as usual if you watch the entire video. Alright, so grab yourself a cup of tea and let's do this. Yep, way too hot. So, to tell you how the game works multiplayer, let me just quickly set it up. There we go. Don't you wish games were that quick to set up? No, seriously. This is how you set up the game. You have the game board here, and you take like these tiles and you put like 2 on top of each other on every of these squares. Setup takes a little bit because you have to like put down, I think these are 96 tiles if I'm not mistaken. So quite a lot of tiles, but then everything is set up. Also, you put the polyomino tiles just around the board, and you put the dragon token just anywhere between 2 of these polyomino tiles. I just put this up there. I will now simulate just a 2-player game, just to roughly explain to you how the rules work. So I will play against Cosmo. I think you have already met him, so I'll just put them on the right, put my stuff on the left. What you now need to do is determine a starting player. And as usual, I have a brilliant way of determining that for you. You just take 50 dice, you roll them all at once, and the player who can sum up the values the quickest is the starting player. Easy as that. One thing you actually missed, let's just say I'm the starting player. One thing you actually missed is these tiles came in this really cool thick bag here. Very, very nice, fitting for the game. The story of the game, so to speak, is that the legendary dragon needs your help, and because demons threaten her egg, and you are the chosen ones to protect it. So you just fly through the realm, to the valley, and trying to catch like demons, right? And we do that with these polyomino shapes. And the best of you who wins the game will become the guardian of Khlor. What else we have is these eggs. This box is just by me. I just added that so I can test the game better and show it to you a little bit better. We have these colorful eggs. I will get to those in just a moment. And I messed up here. Let me just put them back. And these eggs are later on for counting the points. So how a turn now works is one player will start and choose one of the polyominoes in front of the dragon token, right? So we go clockwise, of course, as in most games. And I will choose this or that polyomino. Doesn't really matter, let me just choose this one here. So I will go in front of the polyomino I'm choosing, and I can also take it in my hand and can rotate it and just kind of see, okay, where do I want to go? What I'm essentially doing is I will put this anywhere on the board, and I have to match these 3 demon icons with 3 demons on the board. So for example, if here were no demons left, I couldn't choose it like this, right? Because there are no demons. I need to like take 3 demons. So for example, let me just put it here, right? That means I would take the purple, and the green demon. Take all of these, put them here in my supply. You should sort them by color. I will tell you in a moment why you should do that. And that's it. And now you see the egg token here. The egg token means that whenever there is an egg here on that space, so let's just say we were a little bit later in the round and there were an egg token here, then you could remove it again. That's what this egg means. And also another thing you can do is after you have taken like your 3 demons, And if there are now empty spaces under that polyomino, you can fill them with eggs in a color you have taken, in just one color you have taken. So I can fill them with green or purple eggs. Let's just play a few rounds and then I will show you what I mean by that. That was already my turn. So now it is Cosmo's turn. Cosmo has the choice between these two polyominoes. And just to show you how this works with the eggs, he will choose this polyomino and put it right here. Right? That means he will take this demon and that demon and also this demon here. It's not perfect, right? Because only one of each demon, you actually want to have a majority of demons, but I'll get to that in just a moment. So now you see there are empty spaces here. So Cosmo can now choose a color. Cosmo will choose yellow and put yellow eggs here on the grid under the polyomino, right? So put one here and put another one right there. And that already was Cosmo's turn, right? So put the dragon behind the used polyomino, or like in front of the used polyomino. Now it's my turn again. So we just keep doing that. The goal of the game at the end is to have majorities of demon colors, right? So I want to have a majority of like green and purple and red demons, and then I receive points for the dragon eggs of that color on the board. So for example, let's just say that I had the majority of yellow tiles. Of course, I would have many more tiles and also the other player, right? Let's just imagine it. Then I would receive 1 point for each yellow egg on the board, which would be 2 points. And the second player, which is Cosmo, of course, naturally, would receive half of that, right? So would receive just 1 point because I received 2 points, right? We would do that for every color. Let's say I had the majority for purple demons and there were 8 purple eggs on the board, then I would receive 8 points, and Cosmo would receive 4. Cosmo has the majority for blue demons. There are 7 blue eggs on the board. Cosmo would receive 7 points for that, and I would receive 4 because we are rounding up, right? Rounding up to 8 and then dividing by 2. That's pretty much it, right? All majorities. Another thing you get points for, you also get points for eggs, not only in that color, but also for all eggs on squares of that color. So imagine this is just the prototype. In the final version, all of these squares will have different colors. I will put a screenshot on screen so you can see that. And that means if a green egg, for example, would be on a yellow square, I would also get points for that if I had the majority for yellow demons, right? That's how it works. You're just capturing more and more demons with the polyominoes. You are placing eggs down on empty spaces. You're removing eggs you think you cannot have the majority in with that symbol right here, if you can match that, right? And you're trying to get the most points. That is pretty much how Khlor works, right? One thing I forgot to mention is the game ends when you cannot like do a valid placement of a polyomino anymore, right? Because keep in mind, you don't have to match the egg, but you always have to match 3 demons. And if you can't do that with the 2 polyominoes in front of you, well, then the game end is triggered. So that is how the game works in a nutshell for a multiplayer game. Let me now show you how the solo game works. Just keep in mind the solo game is still a work in progress, right? And the rules will still be adjusted. But I can give you a rough overview how the solo rules work, because yes, of course, you will be interested in that the most since, well, I am mainly a solo channel. And most of you watching are probably interested in the solo game. So let me just set up the board like we did before. So for a solo game, you set up the board the same way, right? You put like 2 tiles on each of these spots here, like this. Then these are removed because these are only for a multiplayer game. In a solo game, you have different ones. Let me just get them. I have them right here on the side. We have these ones that are a little bit larger. They're made from paper here now, but in the final version, of course, they will also be made from a sturdier material, right? Keep in mind, this is all a prototype. And you will also like put them all around the board here. Let me just do that. Dragon token I will just put there. So you will do exactly the same thing. But you also have 2 white demons. These are also prototype tiles, right? They will like look like these here in the final version. You will put one right here in the square B2. And this should be, I think, F6. Put this right there. Right there. And you don't need the first player token anymore. And now the game works similarly. there are a few differences. You just play by yourself, right? And what you are doing is you are now choosing one of the 3 polyominoes in front of the dragon, right? So you have a little bit more choice. And you see these are a little bit different, right? Because there also are egg and demon symbols here, but there also are arrows, right? And these work in such a way. Let me just show you. Let me just choose this polyomino right here. So let me just see, okay, where do I want to go? Just for demonstration purposes, let me do it like this, right? So I will take this, and this demon. Which demons I take, which colors they are, don't matter in a solo game, right? In a multiplayer game, that's very important for majority. You don't want to have majority in a solo game. You're trying to get the board as empty as possible and put as many eggs as possible on the board, right? So I will just put them aside. We don't need to pay attention to those. All right, so, and now you see, that's not all, right? I could also now do the egg thing, but no, not possible at the moment. And now you see there are 2 arrows here, right? So what I have to do now is, I have to attribute these arrows to a demon each, right? So for example, this demon, I will move 1 to the right. And this demon up here, I need to move 1 to the top. And that's it. Then I put the polyomino back from where it came from, and that was my turn. So what am I doing here? Well, I'm continuing this. I will play a few rounds to kind of show you how that works. I'm continuing this until I cannot do a valid placement anymore, or until one of the demons is on the middle space here, on this egg in the middle, right? This one doesn't do anything in the game usually, right? You can also cover it with a polyomino, that's fine. But it doesn't do anything except in a solo game, because if one demon, as I said, is here on that, would move to that space, then the game is also over. Or if you can do a valid placement, just like in a multiplayer game, right? You will get points at the end, the same way as in a multiplayer game. You will get a point for each egg that is on the board, and also 1 point for each egg on a square of its own color, which I can't show you today, right? Because there are no colors yet. And you will get 1 point subtracted for each demon still on the board, right? So, in essence, no demons on the board, having all eggs on there on the same colors, on the right colors, would be perfect, right? And then it's like a score, like a scoring system where you would get points. But let's just play a few rounds so you get a feeling of how the game works. Generally, you can also apply that to the multiplayer game, kind of, right? So let's just continue. I think that's not too bad. Let me put this one right here, right? So I will take this demon and also this demon. Oops. And that demon, like this, and then I need to move these two demons here. I will move this one there and this one to the left, right? Each one of them needs to have like 1 arrow attributed, right? You need to use both arrows, 1 for each demon. That's very important. And now I can still put eggs under the polyomino. I will do so. So normally these would now have specific colors, right? And I would try to match these colors with the eggs, right? But I can't just put blue and yellow here. Why is that? Because, well, I need to take a look at the colors that I have taken, right? So I can put blue, green, and red there, right? So it's not that easy, right? So if this was a yellow square, I couldn't put a yellow egg there. I would have to put either 2 blues or 2 greens or 2 pinks there, right? And that would then be my turn again. All right, so let's continue. I want to keep the demons at bay and just want to put as many eggs as I can. So we need to get like everything empty here. I think I will take these here. I will put this here. We'll take these 3 demons. I cannot put any eggs there. What I could do now is, I could remove this egg here, right? Because I'm matching an egg with the number, with the symbol here. In a multiplayer game, that would be important for like majority control, kind of, right? In a solo game, I could also do that and put another egg there later on with a different color, right? Like for these colored squares. As I said, these don't exist yet. And then I need to move the demons. So now I move this one to the right. And they actually wrap around the board, right? So if I put this one to the right, it will appear on the left again. And this one, if I put it to the top, it would appear at the bottom. And now both are on the same spot. That is actually possible, right? I just need to move them later on to a different spot again. But they can actually be on top of each other. Okay, so let me just continue. Let's just see what we can do here. Yeah, well, this one is actually not too bad, right? I could maybe do something like this here. Yeah, that is pretty nice. or like this even. No, I can't. So I couldn't do it this here, right? Because I need to match this and match all of these three with a demon each. And there, it's no demon, as you can see, right? So that's not possible. But let me go here. Oh, this one is nice. So I would take the pink one, the blue one, and the green one here, right? And then I can put eggs down here. I can put pink, blue, or green eggs there. Let me just put pinks there. But you would want to match those with the colors of the squares, right? In the production copy. Okay. And I put it like this. So one demon goes up, one demon goes down, wrapping around the board. Right? And I will continue like that, right? I don't think I need to play an entire game, but this is how the solo game would work, right? At some point, you won't be able to place any polyominoes anymore, but you hope it will be at a point where you have like removed all the demons or almost all the demons. One more important rule. Why are these white demons important? Well, you can never put a polyomino over these white demons. That is a very important rule. I almost forgot to mention, right? So I couldn't do it like this. I couldn't because this one is blocking me. So I would have to put it some other way, right? That is very important to know. I can't do that. So these block me. And also, I don't want them to be here in the middle at some point because then the game ends if just one of them touches the middle, right? And this is the reason why I have tried to keep them like in the corners, right? But you also want to move them out of the corners at some point because you want to get here to actually get demons here as well, right? And that is how the solo game would work. So now you have seen how a multiplayer game works and how a solo game works. What you have not seen so far is what I think about the game. Well, let me tell you, but before I do, let me just have another cup of tea. Oh yeah, I can drink it much better now. A few more disclaimers and pieces of information before I jump into my review. First of all, I just gave you a rough overview of the rules, right? I haven't covered like all like small cases, but just giving you a general overview. This was not a detailed rules teach. Secondly, there's still a lot to be changed here. First of all of these squares, as I said, they will will get colors, so you can actually also match the eggs with the colors. Also, I will put an image on screen. These eggs are very cool. I actually like them quite a bit, but these will actually be 3D eggs, as you can see here on the image. So this will also look much cooler. Another thing that will be done is that these tiles, I like them quite a bit. They feel really good, but these are made to be stackable, right? That means that you will have an easier time setting them up and you don't accidentally like knock them off, right? I haven't seen these stackable tiles yet, but these will be part of the campaign as well. Also, it is planned that there will also be a portable version of Khlor you can add to your pledge, right? It will be like a smaller board and only for 2 players. I guess solo as well. I don't know about that, but I guess it would make sense. And you can like take that then on the go, which is really cool. I like when you can like make games like as portable as possible. Also, what will also change, of course, is for the solo mode, these tiles will also be made from sturdier material, I guess cardboard like this. And I think that is like the main gist of what will still change for the campaign, right? So I already like the preview copy as it is, but it will be made much nicer. And of course, these white demons will also be like not like this, but actually like those demons here. All right, that should be everything you should know about the game, so you kind of get an idea of how it works. But let me now tell you what I think about the game. Let's start with the outer appearance. As usual, Khlor features like really nice components already and striking artwork in my opinion. It's very simple, but it's really to the point and I just love it. There's so much personality. The eggs already look great, but as I said, in the final version they'll be upgraded to 3D eggs, which is really cool. The theme is charming, although the gameplay itself is highly abstract and could easily support a different theme. That said, the chosen theme is still appealing and adds to the overall presentation. I really like these small, little, mischievous demons here. The game stands out for its elegance, a term I keep using in my reviews, because this game has very simple rules, but offers significant strategic depth. However, like many abstract strategy games, Khlor can be prone to analysis paralysis. It's easy to overthink your moves. The ability to not only add eggs, but also remove them creates an even more compelling puzzle. On top of that, the mechanism of being forced to take 3 demons to match them with the polyominoes adds another layer of challenge. Altogether, this creates an engaging and thought-provoking spatial puzzle. But it's also prone to analysis paralysis as said. Player interaction is also a major part of the experience. Players constantly compete for control of colors while strategically adding and removing eggs to gain an advantage. This makes for a dynamic, interactive game that keeps everyone on their toes. As someone who typically doesn't enjoy abstract strategy games, as many of you may know, I have to say that Khlor really won me over. The spatial puzzle aspect is so well done that it's one of the few abstract games I really enjoyed playing. The solo mode is another highlight. While it's essentially a score challenge, it works well and shows that the designers put thought into making the game enjoyable for solo play. The solo rules are still a work in progress and leave a few questions unanswered, but the potential here is clear. One drawback for me is the setup time. Placing almost 100 tiles takes some effort and time. If you're playing with others, setting up together can speed things up. For solo players, I suggest enjoying a cup of tea and music while setting up. It's more fun that way. Fortunately, as I've already said, the final version is supposed to include stackable tiles, which should make setup faster. Overall, Khlor is a fantastic abstract game. Its combination of simple rules and strategic depth makes it accessible yet highly engaging. The theme and artwork are adorable, and the solo mode is a welcome addition, something rarely seen in abstract strategy games. If you enjoyed what you saw today, feel free to check out the campaign. You'll find the link to the Kickstarter project in the video description as usual. The campaign will go live on January 21st, 2025. Well, that marks the end of my Kickstarter preview for Khlor. Thank you so much for watching and sticking to the very end. A huge thanks to all of you and a very special shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go out to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for your generosity. You can also support me by watching, liking and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me on Patreon and joining my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, I'll see you on the channel or on my Discord server. Take care everyone, stay safe and cheers.